Welcome.
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 to breakfast together.
Welcome.
Günaydın.
Bakayım.
Hello, everyone.
Welcome. Another Sunday, another episode.
Another Sunday morning.
Yeah. How do you folks doing?
Feeling the morning vibes.
Sleepy or active.
Yeah, a bit. I'm drinking the second coffee already.
I'm getting ready for my yoga class.
Whoa, nice.
I just woke up.
What type of yoga, Irena, are you gonna do?
It's the first time I will be doing this. This is yoga outside. I think that it will be like a general yoga. So we will see. I will report after the class if I like it or not. Excited.
Nice. And how's the weather in Norway? Because in Berlin it's like pretty sunny.
No, it's shit as always.
Okay.
Beep.
How do you do, Asya? Everything's good?
Oh, everything is fantastic. Just have a very big thing going on right now, moving back to my favorite country. So greetings from Turkey, everybody. It's very nice to finally
right.
experience
Nice.
constant sun.
I was wondering where you are actually, because I lost count,
I
to be
know.
honest.
I know. It seems like I am jumping places, but it seems that you, Telemachus, are doing very similar thing as well. Tell us, where have you
Yes.
been recently?
Yes, I I want to have like a little bit of break from the city, so I went to Vilnius, Lithuania. So lots of forest.
Oh,
It was actually also the 100th anniversary of the Lithuanian traditional song festival. So there was also lots of singing, lots of dancing, lots of traditional costumes, great food. I tried to learn a little bit. So aš kalbu truputį lietuviškai.
oh
And
wow,
took
that
me a
sounds
long time to
complicated.
learn like even like the smallest words. My favorite soup, shalta barshay. I had to say this word 5 times every
Darsha,
day
isn't it
to
like
remember it.
borscht?
Sorry?
Isn't it borscht?
No, I guess it contains the word borscht because I don't know if it's a generic term for soup or if it's used in many soups, but it's this like pink beetroot soup.
But that's borscht.
That's borscht, yeah.
Okay, let's not start a fight between all
I'm
the Slavic
sure.
and Baltic countries
I'm
now.
sure they have their
I know it
version.
as Shalta Barshay. That's what they taught me. That's what I know.
Ukrainian can recognize borscht from far away.
So do the
this
Lithuanians. So they say.
She
So they
smelled
say.
it.
is a
Just say.
Ukrainian dish.
How many rap songs do you have about borscht? Because they have two. They're very dedicated to it.
I don't like soups to begin with, but I will still claim that
Oh,
it's
we have
Ukrainian.
a saying for that in Greek with the fox and grapes. Dimi knows.
let's not bring up this now.
Yes, yes.
Okay, nice.
I'm definitely a soup person.
You're a soup person, but cold soup or warm soup?
Oh, any, depending on the season. If you want the summer, then yes, bring on gazpacho and chłodnik polski, which is resembling obviously a lot of thing from borscht as well, because it's like a cold vegetable soup with a
Exactly.
lot of
Actually,
nutrients. But yeah, it's good to talk about food, right? But
yeah.
but I don't think this episode is about it.
Food is always a good idea. And we hope we made you hungry by this talk about food. So get ready for the new episode, which will be on how we learn languages. And that is part 2. So please let's share our stories. How do we actually do it?
I think everybody we agree on that you need to really use the language and like use when I say use I mean by talking to people or like by going outside and put yourself into like overcome your
Situations.
situation and overcome your fear by talking to people. But nobody we haven't discussed about what do you do in your, let's say, I would say passively learn or actively even learn. Do you use like applications? Do you use books? Do you use podcasts? Do you use videos, movies? songs, as you already mentioned. What's your let's say technique?
What's your poison?
Yeah, what's your poison
Yeah.
to in order to learn? Because yes, of course, when you reach a level, then you just try to improve by yeah using native media and books or whatever. But how do you reach this level? Because for me, it's like important that I need to make the base, let's say, in a language that I'm learning, and then I will be able, when I reach a level, to consume more native resources, and then also go out and start speaking with people and overcome this fear of, okay, I'm gonna be judged. I don't know anything. I don't know this word. I don't know how like this grammar rule works, or these kind of things. What's your take on that?
Oh, oh, oh. What a nice. I can accept all the rotten tomatoes that are going to go my direction now. I use Duolingo. That's just the thing I use every day. Oh,
No.
absolutely,
I have
yes.
to
I
do the
use
same.
it. Moreover, yeah,
I
you
support
can
Here
you
is
can
one
Asya.
flying towards you.
Duolingo.
Catch it.
yes,
Tomato.
yes. All the rotten tomatoes and eggs right now at me, I can accept, no worries. But yeah, I've been using it for the past 540 days. And
Mhm.
yes, sometimes I
Duo
spend,
watches you.
yes, exactly. Sometimes I spend 2 minutes, sometimes I spend 10 minutes. I don't spend more than half
I
an
said
hour
blink
ever.
twice if you're in danger.
Frankly speaking, I have 5 languages outlined in there, and at some point in Italian, it was very useful because of some just vocabulary words. It's just simply vocabulary. You can learn vocabulary in other manner. Absolutely, I agree. This has just been handy, frankly speaking, and just a reminder that I need to do something more serious that day with the language. But it's just always out there, and yeah, it is useful and useless at the same time. I remember when I was learning Turkish, there was Busu.com. I think Busu.com is now less popular, but Busu has pretty much taught me Turkish because my Turkish was very informal, as I said. I was learning from people. They were telling me some slang words. I was just repeating them in chunks and I was memorizing them. But I didn't have any grammar base. And I went to Busu and I just organized my learning by writing down. This is what I think Duolingo learners anymore, they don't do this. And this is what Dimi was mentioning. You consume the content from Duolingo now and you just close it. But if you take one lesson and you sit down with your notebook and you write down the words you don't know, you come up with one sentence that to practice that particular word, or I don't know, whatever you see, but you put it on a paper and you try to create something out of it. How many people do this out of Duolingo? I presume maybe 1% or even not nobody, because it's just a quick thing to, oh, I got my strike today, let me move on with my things. But Busu, for
I will
example,
live. A duo would not kill me.
yeah, Duo is angry, Duo
Some
is
people do
waiting
it
for you, don't let
for
Duo
safety
die.
reasons.
But if you like, you can use that platform in many different ways, I believe, frankly speaking, because you can extend your learning by learning vocabulary and then trying to write a text with those words that you just learned, right? But again, not many people do this, and I also myself now don't do this with Duolingo.
Please,
But
say it out, but I think Duolingo, if you listen to us, give us some sponsorship or something.
Yeah,
Let's
how
say.
much did they pay you, Asa? How much did they pay you?
oh my god. You
Not
see,
yet, not
honesty,
yet.
honesty never pays back. I should have said, Duolingo, no, it's but yeah,
Words of wisdom.
I just admit, but this is just one of the things. Obviously, I am focused much more on some YouTube channels of my choice of the languages, and even I wanted to say one thing about Spotify, and I found, and I was very happy with finding the way, and it's a tip from me on the technique, is that let's say you're tired. We spoke about this, and let's say you are a fan of running, like I am, but you are tired and you are running. You decided to go to the gym, right? Now, usually when I run, I listen to YouTube lesson in Spanish. So it's some kind of a content that I need to kind of actively consume, maybe repeat, do the shadow repetition, or just listen to a conversation, try to understand the conversation and be more focused. But sometimes I feel like I'm tired, I can't do this. So I listen to a Spanish song. How much does it bring? Not much. But if you're on a treadmill and you have a place where you can put your phone, then Spotify, again, nobody paid me anything for this, but Spotify had this option where you have the lyrics, and if nobody can see
Wow,
us, but at least they can. Yes, you have the lyrics to the song. So you have the
that's so
song.
cool.
Mhm.
Yeah, you have the song, and the song goes, and you can sing.
Oh, whoa. What does
Yeah,
all in Spanish?
I mean, you don't need to sing, but first of all, it's good for your tempo. If you're not training for a certain anaerobic, whatever zone for your blood pressure and stuff, you can try to control your running with also pronouncing the words. You don't need to sing, you can just kind of say them, like I am not singing because people will think I'm some kind of nuts. But I have it in front of me and it's like sabe que lo quiero, pero she don't give a fuck because there are obviously some informal, like some bad words in here. But the thing is, I found that it relaxes me. At the same time, I feel like at least I repeat the target language, right? So I can listen to my own repetition, whether I can catch the rhythm of trying to even shorten the words in a way that the native speaker is shortening down the singer. So yeah, my tip: if you're on a treadmill, go on Spotify, find the target language, and whisper the lyrics and enjoy
That's
your
such
favorite
a
songs
great
like
tip,
that.
Asya. Thank you so much. I think that like I would like to summarize your tip by saying that like exactly what you pointed out. If you are tired, for whatever reason you're distracted, like you don't feel like doing your usual episode of podcast or like a YouTube video, whatever. Do
Yeah,
something,
yeah,
anything. Just one song. It counts, really.
exactly.
And also Duolingo, even though I'm not a fan.
No,
Um, So, first of all, I'm surprised that Asia, apart from like sharing with us and our audience like language tips, you can also share like coach like how you run and your tempo and your cardio
Or
tips.
or
So, thank you
dancing
on
tips.
dancing tips as well. Like, thank you for that. So, I appreciate that.
sure,
But
guys,
also,
anytime.
I have a question for you, Rena and Asia, because you mentioned that, and a lot of times I find myself, also for you, my friend, but a lot of times I find myself being tired. For example, like working, commuting back from the office back to my home, and I don't feel I have the like I'm not focused, and I'm not also I don't have the power to listen to a podcast because my brain just need to relax after a work day. But you mentioned like at least just do something, and I try to follow that. But there are days that I don't want to do anything.
Don't.
Um,
Then don't do it.
or
yeah,
or or watch a movie, like like watch like a
yeah,
series, then
yeah,
it
something
becomes,
like that. Okay.
yeah, like it will be addictive, and then you can watch, for example, on Netflix with subtitles. So
Yeah,
like for me, like my quick example, I was working in the police last year, and I had to commute to the airport, and that was yeah, not that kind of police that you're showing us. No. Yeah. Yeah, but it was like it was one of the hardest jobs, like because yeah, I had to commute, I had to make the breakfast and lunch, and it was just crazy. I had to wake up at 6 a.m., take the train, and then run in the middle of the forest for 15 minutes. So as you were saying, like no energy, no wish to like do anything, especially in the morning. I was watching an episode of my series every single day because I had the time. And then I was curious, I was motivated. I was like, what's gonna happen? What's gonna happen? Who loves
Mhm.
whom? Who is gonna leave whom? I only watch series in Arabic, by the way, because I don't like series, so it was only solely for language learning purposes. Do something that really, really excites you. If the podcast sounds too much, and then yeah, as Asya was saying, songs or like series, I'm sure you can do it because it's addictive, and it's short. You know.
right.
Mhm.
Okay, good too.
I would agree with that. Again, also with songs because it's again it's like a low effort thing. You keep in contact with the language, and sometimes you also notice, if you I noticed this with my Russian, for example, and my Spanish that, I listen to a song that I haven't listened to in a while, and now I understand some words. So I feel like this like clicks happening, like,
Mm.
oh, this lyrics, I didn't understand what it was saying, and now I do. And, it, even if it doesn't help you so much, like to practice something, it even motivates you, because you see your difference and you're like,
Yes, very motivating.
Yeah.
yeah. So Asya, about Duolingo, it's I agree with it because basically it keeps you in touch with the language and with practicing a little bit. And like especially I think, okay, of course, like in a very advanced level, it does make sense, I think. But as a beginner,
Mm.
you have limited resources. Like
Yeah.
podcasts are a bit more difficult. Talking to natives maybe doesn't work. Maybe you don't have any native close to you, so you don't have many options. So I think it's like a good way to get acquainted with the language. Some when I'm
Yes,
doing, like, I'm using the Duolingo for Russian, and also use it at the beginning with
Yeah.
Spanish as well. And it's mostly like, especially with Russian, to again, the vocabulary is so difficult because I don't know anything. So it's all Russian to me. It's not Greek to me because I'm Greek. Um,
pun intended.
so basically, it's like a way to, even if the words are useless, like I learned how to, that medved is bear in Russian. Yeah, okay, thanks.
I
I'm not
didn't
get
know this word.
You'll definitely need that one.
sorry.
Exactly.
You will definitely need that word
Okay, okay,
because a
perfect.
lot of people are saying that Russia is like this big bear
Okay,
with, with vodka in his
yeah,
poop
okay, okay.
stuff.
So
So yes,
Medved
медведь.
playing balalaika.
of course,
Балалайка,
all of these
да.
are important words, exactly. So yeah, but basically, like I keep in touch, even if I'm bored or like I'm tired, I'm lazy, whatever. It still keeps me, in touch with, like, I learned like three new words today in Russian, or like I learned the accusative and the dative a little bit. So like it's you make some small baby steps because the most important thing is routine.
Yeah.
If you don't have a routine, you won't learn anything. I mean, it will make it a lot more difficult, let's say. So that's why I think it's a good thing, like,
I
to put it somehow in your daily life, whatever way you can, even Duolingo. And then, if you want to exchange it for something else, like I start Duolingo in Spanish now. I listen to podcasts now that I can. So if you can't do it, upgrade it. But otherwise, just Duolingo is perfectly fine, especially in the beginning. I would recommend it.
exactly. So to start up, it's fine. To get a grip of regularity, that the language is something that needs to be happening regularly. And the other point is probably that it unfortunately cannot be used as a standalone method. Because
Very
if you
good point.
just
Thank you.
base your learning on Duolingo, you're not going to go far. However, if you put more effort into your Duolingo classes, such as noting down things, developing on the vocabulary, and creating some independent additional exercises to it, you may get more for it, but definitely not as a standalone method. I think that's the main point for this type of application. But to start, why not?
Like one thing I liked about Duolingo is that it pops like some new grammar events out of nowhere for you, and it kind of like increases your
Yeah.
curiosity. Like it recently showed me this thing where that in Russian, like depending on if you go to somewhere or you are somewhere, you're using the same words but in a different tense, which is exactly like in German,
Hmm.
and it just throws you this without any explanation, which might be a problem for some, but for me, it's like, okay, it's like it kind of like like increased my curiosity. Like, okay, why does it do that?
Sparks your curiosity,
Thank
yeah.
you. It's like, why
Yeah.
does it do that? I'm like,
And you
oh,
may go,
is it the same thing as
yeah,
in
you may
German?
go and develop that
And yeah, a big part of
elsewhere.
learning is that if you are curious about something and you are motivated to do your own research, it actually stays with you in your memory a lot better than somebody just serving it to you, like hand feeding it to you.
Right, because you also have it's your choice that you're using the application, and it's not like I feel like in a school environment you might not be interested on the topic, or you might not be interested on the grammar rule, or you might not be ready to learn something at the specific moment. And with applications or podcasts, you choose for example, like you're gonna try like a podcast, and 1 week you might not understand anything, and after 2 3 weeks you might get like 50%, and then after 1 month you're gonna have like 80%. So you know your time, and that's what I enjoy also learning by myself, because I know I mostly learn by myself all the language that I speak right now. I just have to choose what I need to do and what works for me better. And as you said, like the curiosity, just to give you like some influence, or you have some like give you some examples, and then you can search more, do your own research, and learn about the grammatical phenomenon, or about like a specific word, how it's used in different contexts.
But it's a good starting point to get you going.
Yeah, definitely.
Basically, it's
Yeah,
like
yeah,
a really good first step.
yeah. I think in a future episode we can talk about applications we use, because I also use one of the applications. I might not talk about which application is that right now, but I'm a big fan, and I
It can't get worse than Duolingo, can it?
No, but this is like a clickbait. He's throwing it in so people have to listen to the next episode.
maybe. So yeah, we can always like have like an episode of talking about applications that we like, because I know that Asya also mentioned Buzu, and I try to use Buzu with German, and kind of I like it. I could say that I like the application. But I have also one of my favorite ones that I normally use, and I have used for all my language learning so far, even for Russian, actually.
Hmm.
Yeah.
That's great.
Well, and another point I wanted to mention before about what Irena was saying with Arabic, for example, and this is I think a big gap in many languages, that I imagine that with Arabic it's very difficult to find an online resource for like dialect
Yes.
Arabic. That like I imagine that anyone who wants to learn Arabic, they will like find some resources or an app or something that would start with like the standard Arabic. And first of all, it's gonna be much more difficult, as you said, and also much more like useless unless you learn it for work or whatever.
Discouraging. Yes.
It's not gonna be useful for you. It's not it's not the Arabic you probably want to be learning. So it's I think it's a really big gap in like the language learning, I don't know, world. And yeah, I don't know if you have any tips about any languages like Arabic in particular, how to learn it or how to get in touch with this type of thing without another person, like this like kind of casual level of language.
It seems like we need another whole episode.
Yes,
Yes.
exactly. We could share our tips on that in the next episode. That was so great seeing you guys and talking to you. And thank you so much for sharing your thoughts and
We scratched
ideas.
the surface, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, let's continue next time. And there seems to be countless ways on how to learn. The idea is to just start and to try. And this is always the same case with every single thing, whether you try cooking, training, I don't know, whatever you try. If it doesn't work, just change the method and go on again. Don't stop on Duolingo.
And
Just continue.
so up there.
Yeah. Take our advice, take advice of so many other people, and find your own way.
Good point.
great. Thank you for listening.
Thank you very much, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you. See you in the next time. Bye arkadaşlar.
Пока-пока.
Actually,
مع السلامة.